Good evening, Yeshivat Shalom Bayit. Baruch Hashem, we're here in Yeshiva, starting back after the beautiful vacation of Pesach, Bezat Hashem, for the next few weeks and the summertime. This is our usual schedule. We do Bezrat Hashem constantly, Pirkey Avoth every night. Try to delve into it. We're going to go with Rabeinu Yonah this year, Pirush Bezrat Hashem. We will be concentrating mostly on Rabeinu Yonah Pirush, on the entire Sidra. Bezrat Hashem. We're starting with Perek Aleph, Pasuk Aleph, but before Pasuk Aleph we have the Ma'amar that everybody says every day, Baruch Hashem. Kol Israel, yesh lahem chelek la'olam haba. Every Jew has a portion, every male who is born. Very good to emphasize over here that the women have no chelek la'olam haba. They don't have that guarantee of the man. The man, even though he's a big avaryan, if he's a big rasha, even though he does all the avirot in the world, eventually he will get to his olam haba once all the avirot are cleansed. So he goes through the laundry machine, and then he goes to Gan Eden. It's a guarantee. Men are born with this chelek leolam haba. What about a woman? The Chazal say, what is the man? What is a woman? B'may nashim zachayan. The Gemara says, what gives the merit? Excuse me, gentlemen. What gives the woman the merit to go to olam haba? Is by what? Sending their husbands to learn Torah and driving their kids to the yeshivas to make sure that the children get the Jewish education. And again, the emphasis is by the Gemara, woman should be driving unless she is physically unable. If she's not unable physically, then obviously the man takes care of it. But if she can and she should, and this is what gives her honor to be entered into Olam Haba. So, Sheneimar, as it says over there, V'amech kulam tzedikim, the whole nation are righteous. The mere fact that you were born, HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose you to do something beautiful. I heard today from Rabeinu Yonah something beautiful out of this world, to contrast to what the modern world says. Right now, there was a special, very good singer in Israel, very famous singer, and he made up a song, and the song starts, I'm not here to change the world. I'm here just to live as is, and don't do, everything was done before you, probably is the way it's supposed to be, and that's it. Rabbi Yonah said something out of this world. No, you're not. It's not true. Every person in this world who's born, a goy or a Jew, must make this place better. There's something wrong with the world, and you were born into this world to make a repairman. Okay? And that's why that's a condition. The neshama does not want to leave Olam Haba. It's in Olam Haba already. Our neshama, a male's neshama, is already in Olam Haba. But over there, b'chatchila, as we know, Rabeinu Yonah says it in Sha'arei Teshuvah, that every human being, a Jew, his neshama is in Gan Eden already. But the problem is it's free. That's why if you take a look at normal people, most normal people, the healthy people in this world, they don't like nothing for free. Nothing. Yes, you're going to find some people want things for free, but eventually it will eat him up. It will eat up his heart, and he doesn't like nothing for free. A person loves to earn things, and that's what we are. We are actually no child, by the way, is trained that if you take a look at the children, right away they want to do things. They want to accomplish. They're not lazy. It comes with a little bit later age when the person becomes a little bit lazier, but still there's a drive to go and earn. And so that's why Rabeinu Yonah says in Sha'arei Teshuvah that we were born in the condition to earn our chelek olam haba. Okay? So now, so it says, so the condition was, gentlemen, the condition was that the neshama will not come down here unless Hashem promises it back something. So Hashem tells her, I give you a guarantee you have a chelek olam haba. And that's how every male's neshama comes down to this world. And a woman are dragged via only if they perform their full purpose of creation. As it says in the Torah, Yeselo ezer kenegdo, there's going to be a person, and obviously the woman, just by the fact that she's your helper, it indicates that she is much stronger than us. She has more kohod than men. Every woman has more kohod than men, and that's the purpose. Because weak people don't help strong people. It's the other way around. Stronger people help the weak people. And we do need help, and that's our help. The help that we need from our wives is obviously the mental support, go and learn Torah, and encouragement, constant encouragement, and that will guarantee our wives to come to Olam Haba. As it says over there, לעולם ירשו, ארץ נצר מטעי מעשה ידע להתפאר. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this whole beautiful world, don't let the world brainwash you. They're brainwashing you. It's a horrible world. Everywhere you look, the television, movie show, commercials, everything is about the world is bad, the world is bad, the world is bad. No, the world is beautiful. You're here to perfect it. That's why you're born here, and that's what we are struggling and learning. Says Rabeinu Yonah, Amru Rabbeinu Zal, our sages told us in Masechta Baba Kama, Daf Lamed Amud Aleph, Hai man the baye lemeheve chasida likayem mili de avot. So a person who wants to become a righteous person, he has to do and fulfill the words of his forefathers. So that will make a person more settled in mind. And of course, as we know, the best thing in this world is to have something you got to rely on. Why are you doing certain behaviors you behave? It's because of your forefathers' actions. So now, so Rabeinu Yonah says, why is this Masechta is going to be mentioned in the Seder of Nizikin, right? The Masechta of Avoth is in the Seder of Nizikin specifically. Why? Right? The Amri Lei Nizikin, מפני שאדם מסיק אל מעלת החסידות בעשותו אחד מאלה הדברים ששמוע בסדר הנזיקין. So there is a correlation. The person reaches that order of Hasidus, of doing above and beyond by learning, even though the Nezikin, what's the Nezikin? Nezikin, you would think other way around, right? Nezikin is all about not damaging other people. How to prevent damaging other people. How to prevent harm to other people. That's what Nezikin. But so why do you need this here? Why does Masechta Avoth is in Nezikin? So Rabeinu Yonah is tackling that right off the bat, that to tell you that yes, you could reach a level of Hasidut even by what? By the order of staying away from damaging. ואף על פי שגם כן אמרו לקיים מלא דברכות והוא בסדר הזרעים, שמדברת בברכות הזרעים והפירות וסמכוה בסדר ההוא, ועוד מפני שהם דברי הסנהדרין, סמכו בסדר הדינים וכן כל החכמים הנזכרים עד רבנו יוחנן בן זכאי כולם מן הסנהדרין. Okay, so again, Rabeinu Yonah is trying to explain to us why is Masechta Avoth in the Seder of the Zikin. He's explaining to you there are many correlations. One of the aspects he wants to tackle is obviously that there has to be a spiritual growth. A purpose of learning Torah is constant. Anytime you learn Torah, you have to know you grew a little bit higher. Not just learning Torah, anything, any mitzvah. You sit down, you say Kiddush on Shabbos, you have to know that you have to feel it somewhat in the inner. It could be a little minute feeling, but there has to be there. And a person should check himself after a month or two. Let's say a person is learning with a certain Rebbe. Are you gaining anything? Or it's just entertainment? So a person has to alleviate and judge every case. And Bezat Hashem, he's knowing that he's going on a right path. So it's the same thing here. That another concept he says here, the reason why Avoth is mentioned in Seder Nizikin, because specifically we are, the discussion over here will be of most of the Rabbonim who will be mentioned, they are from Sanhedrin Agdolah, that were part of it. And you see that also Anshe Knesset Agdolah who established, right? What's Anshe Knesset Agdolah? Anshe Knesset Agdolah, this was the Sanhedrin Agdolah that was in charge of bringing back the rulership to the Am Yisrael. Remember, Am Yisrael was broken apart. We were greenish bar. We were completely disintegrated, spread around the whole world. Ezra HaSofer had to gather us all together. And now, gathering the Jewish people together, it's not enough. You need to make sure that there is a law and order. Because the biggest Avaranyanim, the biggest crime makers in the world are the Jews. The biggest tzaddikim in the world are the Jews. So which one is it? You're right. A Jewish neshama is so powerful that it actually could destroy this world or it could build this world. And that's where every Jew stands. It's up to you which way are you going to take a path. As Rabeinu Yanuka just mentioned, I told you today, I heard in the morning, that we are here to correct something. So that means if you're not correcting this world, what are you doing? You're actually dragging the world down. There is no middle road. We'll learn over here in Pirkey. Avoth also will mention us. There is no such a thing as I'm sitting at the beach relaxing myself part of. You could have sometimes a permission to sit at the beach. Sometimes you could be doing an Averah, sometimes you could be doing a mitzvah. But sitting at the beach, getting a tan, I'm talking about. So a person could either do Averah or he could do mitzvah. It will depend. All depends on the circumstances. And Bezrat Hashem, with this will start, says the Mishnah. Moshe kiber Torah misinai, umsora liYehoshua, v'Yehoshua leskenim, leskenim leneviim. So the first words, we'll see over here, Moshe kiber Torah misinai. What does that mean? Moshe kiber Torah. He accepted the Torah. Misinai, as the Rabbi said yesterday in the Shur on Shabbat, what is Misinai? Coming to teach you many things. Umsara liYehoshua, and he transferred it over it to Yehoshua. What did he get? What is talking about? Avraham Avinu kept the whole Torah. Adam Rishon says in the Ketuvah that we read on Shavuot, and Sefer Od Yosefai over here is very prevalent, Baruch Hashem. It brings a Ketuvah. There is actually a Ketuvah between Am Israel and who? And the Torah. What's that says over there? It says in the Pasuk, Adam Rishon said, in Vezot Ikare Isha, right? Vezot Ikare Isha ki meish lukacha. And the Torah, Zot Torah, the Benishah gives a reference. Zot Torah, we say Zot Torah. What is Zot Torah? Zot Ikare Isha ki meish lukacha. Who is Isha? The Torah is the Isha. A first wife of a man is his Torah. Second wife of a man is his physical wife that they bring children to this world and bring a family and build up a family. B'ezrat Hashem, b'kedusha u'b'torah. The first wife is the Torah, and that guarantees him that the house is built properly, right? But Adam Rishon, what does he say? V'zot ikare isha. When he names Chava, right? You think he's talking about Chava? No. It says he's talking about Torah. Adam Rishon knew the whole Torah Kula. So he says, V'zot ikare isha. And this will be called the woman. Why? Ki meish lukacha. Eze ish? Hashem ish milchama. Adam Rishon knew the whole Torah in and out. All the generation. I know we all brainwashed thinking that we came from cavemen and all this nonsense, garbage, baloney. We were the most purest, the nation of Dora Mabul. The reason why Hashem had to drown them all is because there was no way, no tikkun. There is no way to fix. Hashem does not kill anybody, does not punish anybody physically, capital punishment, unless there is a way for a person to be fixed. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew Dora Mabul, they have no Olam Haba. Why they have no Olam Haba? Because they all knew Kol HaTorah Kula. They know Shema Kodesh, Shemot HaKodesh. They knew everything, and they were despiteful to Hashem, spiteful to Hashem for all the things, with using all his gifts against them, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to get rid of them. But in reality, they all knew Torah. There is no such a thing. Avraham Avinu knew the whole Torah. From Shem and Eved, they all knew Torah. Noach knew, everybody knew Torah. It was a common knowledge. The problem is that people, Yeridat Adorot, that really means that. We don't have any knowledge. The information that Avraham Avinu knew about this world, we have no knowledge, iota, not even a nuance of what Avraham Avinu knew about this world, unfortunately. So, Moshe kiber Torah, so he accepted the Torah, but we just said he had Torah already in the world. So what is Moshe Rabeinu mikabel? We'll see. And then, umusara liYehoshua. What is he moser? What are you giving over? What's going on here? Then Yehoshua is moser lezekinim. He gives over to the zekinim to the neviim giving you over to the mesaru. And then we'll see what they say. But before we do that, we go to Rabeinu Yonah. This is beautiful. Rabeinu Yonah. Moshe kiber Torah misinai umsara liYehoshua ben Torah shebichtav ben Torah shebal peh. First rule is, it doesn't matter. You have to put in your mind that Torah shebal peh is not few rabbis making their own statements. Some people, there's a statement by Bukharian Jews which I hate the most. What is the statement? У каждого Авраама своя программа, да, Rabbi Yaakov? Hello? Okay, he's on the phone over there. Anyway, Russians have the statement, Bukharian Jews, every rabbi has his own knitch. No such a thing. Says Rabeinu Yonah, right off the bat, you should never make a mistake. Every word of the Chazal is from the Shamayim. Every word. That's what it says. Moshe kiber Torah misinai, either Torah shebal peh or Torah shebiktav.
I think they're referring to Sfo, not Torah.
The Sfo, okay. Now like this, Rabeinu Yonah continues. שהתורה בפירושה ניתנה, שאם לא כן, אי אפשר למידע בה. There's no way. People are crazy. I follow what's written in the Torah. I have family members like this. My sister, younger sister, Avram, I know everything what's written in the Torah. You know what's written in the Torah? It's the rabbi says here, without Torah Shebal Peh, without rabbis explaining to you what is written, you ain't gonna understand what it means, b'chlal. So he tells you right away, right at the bed, you're not gonna understand the Torah Shebechtav. Sharei Katuv Lo Tigzol. It says don't steal in the Torah, right? Excuse me, don't steal what? It just says don't steal. Don't steal. What are we talking about? What's Gzela b'chlal? So a person will say, you know what? If we don't have rules and regulations, what stealing is, every person will make his own rules. What will the person say? Rami, how many cows you have? You have 55 cows, right? Cows. You have 55 cows. How about never?
Donkeys.
Excuse me, you only need 50 cows to live. Why you need 55? So I'll take 5 because it's not stealing. I'll make a cheshbon, it's not stealing. Why? What is gzera? It's only what you need. So I'm not allowed to take from you what you need.
The liberals.
That's right. That's what liberals do. What do you think government does? Government. Yeah. So the Torah tells you.
Stole from me. You know what he told me?
Yeah.
You have.
You have. That's right.
He told me like this.
That's right. Yeah. I have a tenant. He doesn't want to pay rent. Why? You have plenty of money. What do you want from me? You could wait, my friend. I could pay you 4 or 5 months later. מה זה? גזלה ממש. מה זה? מאיפה זה נמצא דבר כזה? נו. So, שאם לא כן, אי אפשר למידע שהרי כתוב לא תגזול, וכל נזיקין בכלל אותו עליו. So, what, just, the Torah tells you don't steal. Don't steal what? What's the amount? What's the measurement? Where are we talking about? How are you going to learn all that? No, I'm not going to steal anything. What happens if you steal? So you're saying what? It's the same punishment? Right? Stealing a toothpick, stealing a apple, everything. So the Torah has to elaborate, and where does it elaborate it? In Gemara. And this was the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah was that Moshe Rabeinu got the written Torah, and then the Kabbalah was the Masoret of explaining every pasuk's explanation in intricacies, every little detail. That's what the Masorah. Even though Torah שבכתב בבעל פה was not written. ועוד כתוב בין אדם לדם, בין דין לדין, ובין נגע לנגע. It says like this in the pasuk. Very strange. It says between blood and blood, between judgment and judgment, between blemish and a blemish. What? That's the pasuk in the Torah. וכמה מראות דמים וכמה דינים מתחלפים. What's going on here? You don't know what makes a person tameh. Which dam? A zav has a spilling out of his private. A woman that has a blood coming out of her every month. Which blood? What makes a tameh? Where is all these things? What about nega? What about a person who has a blemish, a boil on his arm? What color? There's so many different colors. So everything has to be described. The Torah is very, very limited. It gives you vague statements. The Torah tells you this blood. Which blood? Blood. Go figure it out. Do you know how many bloods there are in Nida? Yes.
100.
No. So there's 6 types of colors of blood. 6 types. And you have to learn which one is Nida. The rabbi has to sit down and look at the ed and to decide, is it Tumah or not Tumah? And that's what you have to know. Where are you going to learn that from? The Torah doesn't tell you how to differentiate. What about the size of the dam? The Torah doesn't say. What makes a size? Where did it come? How much it was? All these things have to be known by Torah. Okay. Umarot hanegaim kama v'chama yiduim etzlenu al pi Kabbalah. What about marot negaim? A person who is a nega, who is a tzara'at. What? So many that you have to know. The Kohen has to know. You know the famous story with the joke with the Kohen, Nebuch. The Kohen he had no money. No people not giving him money. So he decided that he's going to go out of town to make parnasah. Okay. But the Kohanim were, they used to watch also Negaim to show which, what's his name, which is Tameh or not Tameh. So the guy decided to teach his wife how to paskin. So, huh? Yeah. The wife could paskin if it's Tameh or not. That was one of the privileges of being a wife of a Kohen. Okay. So he's teaching her and he's telling her, you have to know that the hair that's going to come out from the nega, there's not possibility that this hair that the other hairs will get involved. There's only one there. She asked him a question, how do you know which hair Why wouldn't the hairs be intertwined? Why wouldn't the hairs intertwine? Maybe it got mixture. Maybe it's a different color. That, and what he tells her, he tells his wife, it's impossible. Hashem made sure that in the hand, you see how many hair we have here? All these hairs, each one has its own route to the water. Each one gets its own nutrition. It's not like the hand has some kind of foreskin under this arm, and then that foreskin just feeds all the hair. No, says the Kohen to his wife, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made such a beautiful thing that each hair gets its own nutrition. If that hair does not get nutrition, it dies. So she looks at him and says, Habibi, if Hashem wants to give you parnasa, what are you going to travel outside of town to make parnasa? If Hashem cares about a little hair to have nutrition and it grows on your skin, you don't think the same thing will happen to you? And the Poresh, and he did not leave. And understand, the musar from a woman was a beautiful thing, right? The woman know how to give a musar properly, and B'ezrat Hashem, the Torah will come out. Okay, now continues Rabeinu Yonah. ואם היו מפורשים, לא היינו יודעים לאיזה הדרך נלך. Now, why does the Torah, the rabbi now explains a beautiful concept. Perry is going to say, I don't understand. Torah has 310,000 letters, right? So add more. Just give us exact details of what you mean, and bye-bye. Why we need the Torah Shebal Peh B'chlal? So he's telling you, no. If the Torah had told you specifically what it means, like for instance, what food that the Torah tells us that you're allowed to eat all of them except for 24, and we don't even touch it, not even milli% of the food. Birds, the Torah outlines to you 24 birds don't eat. You know how many species of birds there are?
No.
There are over 1 million species of birds. 24 of them you can't eat. What does it tell you? The rest you could eat. How many do we eat?
No. 5.
There's a 5. 2 Bikoshi.
Duck, chicken,
Yeah.
doves,
No,
yonim,
that's a 3.
pigeons. No, fingernails.
Yeah, Ochlein Bikoshi.
Yeah.
We don't even
It's
why.
not common.
We don't even know.
That chicken, that
But it's telling you. It's
Okay,
telling you
five-
only
five birds.
5. Only 24 you can't eat. But the other 1 million you could eat. And we don't even touch it. So imagine if the Torah told you something specifically. You go out of your mind. What is it? Just like here. The reason we don't eat the other 1 million birds because we don't know. We don't have Masoret. We don't know they're allowed. That's the reason. Because we don't know. So you see that the less Torah spoke is better. Because now the Rabbanim have elaborated and give us more explanations and more details. And that's why you need Torah Shebal Peh. Out of this view. Rabeinu Yonah. That's out of this world. והם אינם מפורשים כי לא ניתנו לכתב. כתיב, ואתנה לך את לוחות האבן והתורה והמצווה. So the Torah tells you specifically, Hashem told Moshe Rabeinu, I will give you the Torah, the luchot will be written on an evan, והתורה והמצווה. So the Rabbi now explains what it all this means. Torah zot Torah shebichtav. Torah, the hora'ah of the guidance of this world, it's going to be the 5 books of Moses that we know. והמצווה, what is mitzvah? Zot Torah shebal peh. The mitzvah, as we understand, the commandment. That's why people don't understand that kol ha'over al divrei chachamim, anyone who doesn't follow the rabbi's words, chayav mitah. Why chayav mitah? Because the rabbis are actually more elaborate to you, and they're telling you exactly what Hashem wants. And that you don't, that person doesn't listen. The person has a problem, and therefore he's chayav mitah. He should be killed. He will be killed by Hashemayim. נמצאת אומר כל המצווה שניתנו למשה בסיני בפירוש ניתנו. So we see from here that everything that Moshe, all the commandments, all the mitzvot that Hashem was given, Moshe Rabbeinu was given, they were given specifically and all in the open. והכתב הוא שנקרא תורה שבכתב. So the כתב is what? נביאים וכתבים. Those are בכתב. Even Moshe Rabbeinu got all the נביאים and all the כתבים that there and then. Why? So why you have all the Nevi'im and Ketuvim in different names? Right? It's coming to tell you who wrote it. That's all. But in reality, and you have to understand, in the Torah, Baruch Hashem, we had, in the time of Beit HaMikdash, over 2 million Nevi'im. Over 2 million Nevi'im in the first Beit HaMikdash. Okay? But yes, and every one of them gave the war every morning and night. It's written down over there. In the Gemara, they have an assumption, they have a calculation. Over 2 million Nevi'im. Whatever, 1.2 million, whatever, over 1 million for sure. Okay? For sure, over 1 million. For sure. So where are they? Right? So no. So it says like this. All the 24 books of Nevi'im we have, it's for today. It's not once there was. The Christians are brainwashing us, and they're telling us God was once with you, no longer. But they don't understand the reason why all the smart rabbis that know how to fight Christians is because they know the real secret. The real secret is none of those 24 books are shayach. They will be written unless they're all for today. You're reading Yov's story, it's shayach for you today. You're reading Yehoshua, how he was conquering the land, it's shayach for you today. It's not just a story.
They're always quoting them. They're quoting them more than Jews, I see.
Right, because again, their idea is, the Christians' idea, this is the past, it's old. It's old, that's why they have it Old Testament.
So why are they studying it?
Well, to convince a lot of Jews the wrong way. That's the whole purpose, though. Everything Jews go. Yeah, that's right. But the problem is they don't. The way they're learning it is wrong. All this Old Testament is actually Now Testament. The 24 books of Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim, are today as shayach. Each one of them for today. What do you mean? David HaMelech married Bathsheba. What is that shayach to me today? It is. If you learn the Torah, if you learn it properly, it is for you today. The whole life of marriage is there. Everything is for you today. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us how to behave in this world with your wife, how to behave in the marriage, and how to behave in all other aspects, all those things over there. Baruch Hashem, right? When did Shlomo HaMelech create a song we sing every Friday night for our wives? Eshet Chayil. Huh? When did Shlomo HaMelech created this song? You know when? The first day inauguration of the Mikdash. What happened? His wife, the Rasha'it,
Was it the first mom?
no. Right, she was playing with cancellation. She was playing, the Bat Paro. She was playing with the cancellations of stars. She was drawing with him every time, fooling him. And then what happened? Hey, Bathsheba came in. What? Barged in when he was naked with his wife in bed. So what she do? She brought in two Italian boys with her. Two Italian boys grabbed Shlomo HaMelech, tied him to they flipped the bed over. She told him, in this bed I'm going to teach him a lesson. This is the mother, Shlomo HaMelech's mother. He's a king already. Remember, he's already 19 years old because he started building with the Mikdash right away when he was 12 or 13. So he's about 20 years old. The guy's like Gilda. He's standing there. You have two Italian guys coming over, grabbing him, tying him to the bed, facing the mattress. She took a whip and she started beating him to bleeding. And as she beating him, now he's singing a song. Why Avshalom wanted to kill David HaMelech? Because the mother, that's right, the wife of David HaMelech followed his orders not to hit the children. Bathsheba said to David HaMelech, you don't hit your children. I know what to do. The best thing is to hit your children. The Gemara says it's a mitzvah and the whole thing. Shlomo HaMelech says it's a commandment in the Torah to hit your children. To give them a little bit. Make them feel, hello, you're not here to do whatever you want. And she beat him up at 20 years old, even though it's against halakha. But it's a mother, it's allowed. Mother is allowed to hit their child anytime she wants. Father is a question. No, that's not true. The mother is also allowed. Also bar mitzvah not. But this was a special case. And we see.
Mitzvah or 7, 8? Bar mitzvah or 7, 8?
Bar mitzvah. After bar mitzvah. Before bar mitzvah is okay.
Belt is okay?
Pinching, belt, whatever on the butt. Yeah, whatever it is, it's no problem. It's the best thing. Okay. So continue. נמצאת אומר כל המצוות אשר נתנו משה, והכתב הוא שנקרא תורה. Okay. Now, one second. What's מסורה ליהושע? So now we understand what Moshe Rabbeinu קיבל. What did he קיבל? according to Rabbi Yonah, he קיבל the pirushim of the Torah. And now, what is he moser? Right? So even though the Torah existed, the whole Torah information existed from Adam Rishon all the way to Moshe Rabbeinu. There was Torah in the world. But what did Moshe Rabbeinu got? He got a pirush of the Torah. And now no longer did you need to make your own pirushim. And now Moshe Rabbeinu came with the Hamim in explaining exactly what Hashem meant when he gave the Torah. So that means what? Till Moshe Rabbeinu, there was a Torah shebichtav only in the world. And every pirush, it says Avraham Avinu wrote, he had 400 masechtot. He had Masechta Avodah Zarah, 400 prakim. In his Masechta Avodah Zarah, there's 400 prakim. Where did all this discussion come from? Avraham Avinu on his own discussed the Torah. He was elaborating. But came Moshe Rabbeinu, and now we don't need to elaborate anymore. The present was Hashem told us how to elaborate and deliberate and how to describe everything. Okay, now let's see what's Mitzarah. Thank you, Barry. So now Now, what's Mesorah? What did he pass over? So now we understand what he got. Let's see what Mesorah. No, thank you, Perio. So now, Rabeinu Yonah, Mesorah liYoshua, כמו שנאמר, as it says over there, he transferred it to Moshe. ומשרתו יהושע בן נון נער לא ימיש בתוך האוהל. So we know now that what he transferred. What did he transfer? Specifically, the laws of how to enact the Torah Shebechtav. And that was the Mesirah. How was the Mesirah? He had Moshe Rabeinu spoke. Moshe Rabeinu heard everything from Hashem. Then he came and he spoke to Yehoshua. Then he stayed there. Yehoshua spoke to Aaron, right? And then that means what? He heard it already 3 times, 4 times. Hashem, Yehoshua, and Moshe to Yehoshua. That's 2. And that Aaron spoke. So after Aaron, Moshe would come out. Moshe would go do his business, whatever he needed to do, rest, whatever it was. Now that Aaron, so each time they heard 4 times. That's why actually Gemara, if you take a look, there's a hint to it. In every Gemara of Vilna, there's 4 lines of Rashi and 4 lines of Tosafot. To indicate to you, this is how many times you have to repeat the Gemara and Rashi and Tosafot minimum. Each page of the minimum you have to repeat 4 times. Okay? So now, that was the Mesorah. V'Yoshua lezkinim. So what is Yehoshua lezkinim? כמו שנאמר, בכל ימי הזקנים אשר האריכו ימים אחרי Yehoshua. So all those skinim, that you wouldn't think that's a new skinim that came. It's the same as the skinim that were at the time of Moshe Rabeinu, that were actually what? They were all rawui to be killed. You remember that, right? The story? They were all they were spared, whatever it was. But now, so now they were those that remained. Yehoshua gave them the koach, and obviously, who were the skinim? Skinim. So now he's going to tell us. Who is this? Who is Al-Shek Torah? Before I just want to throw in the Skenim. This is the Skenim Yehoshua, the Shoftim. All the Sefer Yehoshua and Shoftim are Skenim. Those are considered to be Skenim. And now comes the Nevi'im. Who are these Nevi'im? Shmuel. So we have like this. The Shoftim, the last of the Shoftim was Eli HaKohen. He was the last of the Shoftim. He was the judge of Am Israel, even though he was a Kohen Gadol also, but it doesn't matter. A judge could be anybody. The judgment of Torah, there is no Yerusha. It doesn't come to you by special privileges. It's about your Torah knowledge, and it's about your love for Torah, and it's about your love for people. As Moshe Rabbeinu said, that the only way you could judge over the people is if you have the feelings for people. As it says, Moshe Rabbeinu asked Moshe specifically, let the next leader have the feelings to carry the burden of 600,000 men. And that's how a leader was chosen. So Eli HaKohen was the leader of Am Israel. Unfortunately, B'Sof Yamav, as we said, Torah is a very fine line. Torah in a second. You could go to the left or remain to the right. You're not comfortable I'm frum and I'm religious, nothing bad will happen to me, I'll never do the Averot. As we see, Eli HaKohen, unfortunately, there was a Rabbi Yochanan Kohen Gadol, 80 years was Kohen Gadol, and he mamash astray to the left. Went with Tzdukim, by Tosim with Tzdukim. It's not a praiseworthy attribute for him. But he was a Kohen Gadol for 80 years. So there is no guarantee, there is no protection in the Torah world. So now, Eli was the last one. Then came Shmuel, was the first Navi, who was now a Shafet. This is again. So what was Mesorah? Rabeinu is not giving us the explanation, but there are others that explain what was the Mesorah.
Is it last Shofet?
Yeah.
Shmuel? Not Eli.
No, Eli was the last Shofet. Shmuel was the first Navi. Again, so that's the question. What is Mesorah? What was the Mesorah here? So like this, Mesorah was the Malchut, the kingdom. Moshe Rabeinu was the king.
Right.
Yehoshua Navi was the king. And every Shofet after him, all the way to Eli, besides having the title of being a judge, they were also the kings or ruler of the nation at that moment.
But Shmuel was the one in charge.
No, so came Shmuel. Now, no longer there was a Navi, a Shofet, meaning a regular person who was not also a Navi. It was the Shmuel had both titles. Shmuel was a king, and he was a Navi, and after that, that's why he inaugurated the kings.
I understand that, but he wasn't considered king. They came to him saying, "We want a king."
Good. No.
Not,
Again.
the people came to him.
Let me rephrase it. No. Let me just rephrase it. Mechila, you're right. It's not the name king, rulership.
Okay.
Moshe had the rulership of Am Israel. Yehoshua had rulership. All the Zkenim, all the Shoftim, all the way through Eli, they had rulership. That was the Zkenim. Now came the Nevi'im part. The Nevi'im have the rulership of the Jewish nation. That was the Shmuel. Looks like he was also ruler. So that's why he was able to, so to speak, give over the baton. He was able to give over the kingdom to whom he chose Shaul. After Shaul, Hashem told him to take the whatever. Hashem, right. He anointed Shaul, and then he anointed David. So you see, that was there was a trust. Now, what about other Nevi'im? All the other Nevi'im, right after that. So I guess they didn't have this anymore. But you see that the Mishnah does relate to them, that they had something, some kind of power. Or we know, look what it says, that V'hu Ezra, so Nevi'im b'saru al anshe knesset hagdolah. So you see that even though there was a king in Israel, but there was still, the baton was carried by Nevi'im. They were also to be judges. They were judging of the nation, meaning that whenever a Navi comes to the neighborhood, he would be given the because he's talking in the name of Hashem.
איפה כנסת הקדוש שמדברים על זה כבר, מדובר כבר עזרא סופר.
Right. That's what we're talking about.
זה ג'אב מאוד גדול, אנחנו
Good. So we skipped all the kings. So the question is, what was the Mesirah? The Mesirah was, so we have to say, it's the rulership of the Torah in the world. They were the last judge, meaning, and check this, they were the Sanhedrin. They were in charge of Sanhedrin, and remember, there is a mitzvah in Doraita. Whatever Sanhedrin says, you must follow. And who doesn't follow, he gets punished for it. The Sanhedrin will punish, and sometimes will give makot till death. The Sanhedrin has such a power. And the Torah tells them specifically that the Sanhedrin could override any Beit Din in Israel. Sanhedrin could override any rabbi, anybody. Sanhedrin decides, and check this out, Ayala in power, kazeh. So now, it looks like the Nevi'im were in charge of the Sanhedrin. And who was the Anshe Knesset HaTorah? They were the last of Nevi'im, and now Tanaim starts. Now becomes the Tanaic era. And who was the first Tanah? Ezra Sofer. Ezra Sofer was establishing the Sanhedrin Agdolah. He rebuilt the powership, the rulership. It's called sovereignty in English. We have complete sovereignty. So now we have complete, even though we were under Daryavish, even though we were under the Persian king, but he was a lemach. He was a lemach. He went against Torah. He was for Torah, went against Torah. The Daryavish, Koresh has different names, so it depends on his behavior. His mood changed. That's how they treated him. But in the end, after he died, Khalas, we became fully sovereign for a little while. Okay. So now, V'hu Ezra V'siyato. So now with this, we're going to read this, and then we'll call it a night, and tomorrow we'll continue. So V'hu Ezra, one second, let's just finish this, the paragraph. Amen, tzaddik. V'hu Ezra V'siyato. Again, V'hu Ezra V'siyato. Who's this on Anshe Knesset HaTorah? They were Ezra and his minions. The whole, he had over 120 people in his Sanhedrin, and there was also Nevi'im. They were part of it, prophets, and all this. Unve'ei bayit sheni hayu be'ota siya. And there were some Nevi'im that were part of this second temple. As it says in Masechta Be'imamot, page 16, Amud Aleph, Amar Rabidosa ben Harkinas. Rabidosa, the son of Harkinas, said, Shamar Hagai Devarim Halalo. When Hagai said these words, meaning Hagai gave his nevuah in Tresar. We have Tresar, right? Menachem. We have Nevi'im, a sefer called Tresar. And over there, there's a name of a prophet, Hagai. So he describes, Rabbi Dosa says, when he uttered these words, he what? Al medocha zo haya yoshev. Ma ze medocha? Even medocha? Okay. Hine ki hanevi'im shel bayit sheni achar ha'churban hayu. So there were still prophets after the Churban. What happened to the prophecy? Why don't we have a prophecy today? It was a condition. You know that. It was a condition made in Gemara. The Gemara, that's right. Get rid of the Avodah Zarah. And Hashem said, if I'll take away the Avodah Zarah, then I'll take away the Nevuah. Even though Hashem promised to take away the Nevuah, the Gemara says he didn't take it away. It's still, we have still Nevuah in children under 5-year-old. They could talk to you prophecy of Hashem. Sometimes you could hear. Or the second case is Shoteh. You know the story, the famous joke with Ben Ishchai. Ben Ishchai gets a letter. Shoteh. Shoteh means Mishuggah. I'm Mishuggah cup. His head is twisted. So Ben Ishchai gets a letter once, Ben Ish Chai HaKadosh, he gets a letter. A question. And then they write over there, Harav HaGadol, HaKadosh, HaMekudash, HaNavi, and blah, blah, blah. So he wrote back to the answer. He says, but do me a favor, please. Next time, don't call me Shoteh. So they wrote to the students, he said, what do you mean don't call me Shoteh? So he explains, wait a minute. See, this man write me that I'm a Navi. I said, in this generation, a Navi only a child. Well, obviously, he wrote me a letter. He believes that I'm not a child. But maybe he thinks I'm a Shoteh. There's the only way the Nevuah comes to this world is through Shoteh. So that's Rabbi Shai wrote him off. Anyway. Okay, now. So, did we see the Nevi'im were part of the second bite? Okay. Hayasham. So Haggai was there. So the Anshei Torah were giving over the Torah to their generation. The Chachamim, Libnehem, Acharehem, the whole Dor Vador. And the children, and the Chachamim, wise men, if they had children, they gave to the children. If not, they have to them. They give it over to the students. The whole Torah today is a student from mouth to mouth to mouth to mouth. V'haita Kabbalah mechacham lechacham. Rabeinu Yonah says you have to know. And they have to know it, not believe it. I think, no. You have to know it. What's the knowledge? That the Torah is giving over from one wise man to the next wise man to the next, and that's how we have it today. And that's how, by the way, we don't have what Christians have, and we don't have what Quran people have. There's over 960 books of Quran versions. There's over 1,600 versions of Christian books. Torah, only one book all over the world. Even though we have millions of Rabbanim, thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of different Rabbanim, and still Torah stays the same. That's a beautiful thing. That's when somebody tells you, there's rabbis. You need those rabbis. That's not the only reason why we are called Jews because of the rabbis. עד שנקבצו כל חכמי ישראל, ונזרעה יצא מפי כולם, לכי ייכתב תורה שבעל פה. And after that there was a problem. The Torah was starting to be forgotten, Rabbi Yonah says. By the time of Rabeinu HaKadosh, they started writing Torah. וכתבו וסתמו התלמוד. And then they started writing because people started forgetting, and that's why we have everything written today. And it's still called Torah שבעל פה, ואחר לכן לא נוסף בו דבר, ולא נגרע ממנו. And if whatever is written in the Gemara, you cannot add anything, you cannot subtract anything. וגם הדור ההוא מסרוה לגאונים, and that generation of the Tanaim that wrote them in Mishnayot, they gave it over to Amoraim. After Amoraim came the Geonim. Okay? והייתה קבלה מגאון לגאון מפי רב עד היום הזה. Zikurim Mitzvot, that he was going from one Gaon to another Gaon, and that's how we have to. Tomorrow we'll continue.